The men's self-improvement industry is creating a generation of men who determine their self-worth by their productivity, by their output. And on the worst end of the spectrum, it's actually creating a lot of really boring guys who don't have any interests other than men's self-improvement, and they feel ashamed for doing anything fun. And I think a lot of people need reminding of this, particularly some of the younger lads, because we all know where it's stemming from and what needs to be done about it. So you'll notice a lot of these guys, right, they're all regurgitating the same information, Hormozi, Tate, etc. And it's building this very Puritan style of life where all you do is work, all you do is focus on your growth. And this idea is pushed that if you're not knuckling down in your 20s, if you're not using every minute productively, you're going to end up as a failure. The competition are going to overtake you. And this kind of mindset, it only really works for a specific kind of person. There are people who will find motivation in this. And there are some people who, of course, that is going to be their lifestyle. They work all the time and they don't want to go out and do these other things. For them, fun is business. And Hormozi is a prime example of this, right? The guy, his passion is building businesses. And admittedly, he doesn't say that everyone should follow his lifestyle. People often accuse him of doing that. He doesn't. He speaks to a specific kind of person. But what seems to have happened is that a lot of people have got the idea that they are that kind of person. And I can tell you firsthand, from having worked in the city of London, been around a lot of entrepreneurs, the kind of personality type for the type of person who works from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep, the kind of people that can function on like 4 hours sleep a night, you know, Trump, Thatcher, these types of people, right? That is not the majority of people. This kind of Goggins, Jocko Willink lifestyle, it's not the kind of life that most people can live and want to. This obsessive focus on work all the time and obsessive focus on fitness and healthy lifestyle, it distracts from the reality that actually it's about balance, right? Now, admittedly, of course, if you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're not drinking, smoking, you're getting enough sleep, etc., all of these things, inevitably, yeah, you're going to feel better as a result of it. But a lot of young men need to be reminded, especially these ones in their 20s, you're in your fucking 20s. Enjoy yourself. At this age, this is the time to be having fun. This is the time that you can actually get away with it the most, with partying a lot more, with sleeping around, whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be this black and white version where you're either all in and you're locking in and regurgitating all of these cringy grind set phrases like monk mode, locking in, going ghost, lone wolf, which again are just things that people use to identify themselves with certain internet subcultures, and they don't really contribute to your growth, really. You know, if you want to do the work, just do the fucking work. You don't need to talk about locking in all the time and getting yourself into your flow state of deep work, right? This obsessive focus on your productivity and micromanaging every aspect of your life to an autistic degree that just isn't enjoyable for the average person. There is a balance between getting shit done, making sacrifices when necessary, particularly at times when you really need to get shit done. There will be periods when you need to work longer hours and really focus. But all of the time, you don't need to be like that, because when you do, you burn out. And this is exactly what I saw with my client. He was feeling really guilty and ashamed about the fact that he's posting on YouTube every single day, but he's just taken a day off and didn't post. And he was telling me about all the inner critical messages that his inner dialogue was saying to him, or his inner monologue, which were really normal things. And it's like, mate, like, you've posted every day on YouTube for months on end, and you've had one day off because you've just he went through something quite personal in his life, and it was a very, very justifiable reason to not be posting, right? But he was feeling ashamed of it. And the reason for this is because of this narrative that keeps getting pushed online, that you have to seize every single moment, and that you're going to fail if you don't enjoy yourself, and you're going to fail if you drink. This is a big one in particular. I mean, Gen Z are drinking less, and I have mixed feelings about that. Partly good because it is healthier not to, but also, you know, I'm British, right? Drinking's part of my culture. I enjoy getting pissed and having a laugh with my mates, and a lot of people do. It's not just a British thing. In fact, it's something that is shared across most of the world. A lot of Gen Z lads, they're drinking less now, and the girls, and also in these kind of grind set communities, it's pushed, oh yeah, you know, you can't be drinking. The only reason it's going to become a problem is if you're getting pissed every single weekend and it's really affecting your mood and your output during the week, or if you're drinking constantly through the week and it's making you feel worse. But I can tell you that there are plenty of people who manage to do both. Like, look at how life was in the 1980s. And I'm not saying we want to go back to that, right, the London style of things, but they were on the booze all the time, man. And day drinking, I wouldn't recommend. I did it for a little bit in London, a couple of times where I had the freedom, and I was like, oh yeah, let's go for a lunchtime pint. Could not be asked to work in the afternoon. But there's a balance to be found. You can have a pint in the evening. You can drink on the weekend and still get shit done. I know guys who are very successful, right? Multi-millionaires, some of them. Or if not multi-millionaires, they're younger, but they're doing very well for themselves. They're living very comfortably and they love a drink. They still like getting pissed. Some of them, maybe they manage it. They'll do periods of very focused work where they don't have much distraction, and then they'll party. They'll have a little bit of time off. There's different styles of doing it, but essentially you don't have to buy into this idea that every aspect of your life has to be about output, and you should feel shame and guilt in this Puritan Christian mentality that is common to come out of America, but a lot of people seem to have clocked into elsewhere in the West now. It isn't a healthy way to live. When you're young, enjoy yourself, right? Party a bit, enjoy yourself. Life is about balance. And if you are the kind of guy who is driven, you want to build online, you do want to look after your health, right? You want to live a more fulfilling life, all these sorts of things, but also you're not a grind set arse licker type. I'm building a community at the moment of these kind of guys who are building online. I've built an audience of over 130k. I run an online business. I live in Thailand at the moment and I move around. And I'm building a community of guys who share those kind of visions. Guys who want to get ahead in life, but they're also not fucking boring. If you want to get involved with that, check it out. The link is below.